folks, we're live. It's Friday. We're doing some Unity game dev kind of stuffs. Hope you've all had a good week. Hope you've all been well. Apologies for no stream on the Wednesday. I was ready to go stream and go and just couldn't. But we'll continue with our Blender stuff next week. We'll carry on with that. But for now, let's switch over to Unity, and there we go. Switch over to Unity. We'll carry on with this. I think most of our issues, as quite a lot recently, is to do with our code. So let's go and have a look at what's going on here. Let's dim our light a little bit. I did experiment with automatically setting my lights to dim. There we go. Which I've done for Mondays. Monday streams, my lights automatically dip now, which is pretty cool. But I need to set it for my other stream days. That's why even if I'm not streaming, it's nice to have your lights dim at a certain time in the evening, because you don't need bright lights constantly. I can't recall exactly what we're doing. I know it was the... let's have a quick playthrough. Make sure what is supposed to be happening is happening. I do know it's the saving and loading needs to be looked at. And we do need to, every time we go to the options, it needs to pause this timer. But we'll do that as well. That's a functionality thing. Let's go to the castle holder, the castle. And we shall cheat. We'll hit the dev testing box over here. Okay, that's frozen. Seems to have killed Unity. That's a great start, isn't it? Okay, let's switch back to the main camera and we'll restart the software. Yeah, that's a good start. I can't remember that was one of our issues last time. Normally I try and review the stream from the previous week. Let's try and catch up with where we are. Let's switch back to it now we're here. Let's review the... So it's supposed to go through disable the collider, start the smoke. Play the castle ball. So we'll play it again, but we'll have a look at the console as it's happening. So we need to find out what the sticking point is, because I thought it was the colliders. Been hit, event been booked. So I'm pretty happy that kind of stuff happens here. So I could probably oh, was that, it might have been that whole thing there that was our issue, wasn't it? It is coming back to me a bit. Castle. Now I could do this the long way because this doesn't take too long to do this, and we can kind of have a closer look at what's going on without suddenly hitting all these boxes. Now, I do need to go on the audio sample finding mission. Get some nice audio samples. Then I'd like to kind of finalize the projectile items because I just kind of threw these in because I had them. But I'm not completely sold on the dumbbell. Because the yeah, I'd like to theme it a little bit better. Obviously put some Easter eggs in there. There's things that sort of you wouldn't necessarily expect, but are just kind of fun to just throw, I suppose. Then for everything I do find in this, and all the objects I decided on, I need to find appropriate at least 5 audio samples that would represent one there. About 5 audio samples that would represent that object hitting a solid stone wall. Shut it. I'd like to put something on this, so maybe some guards or something standing on that wall. Could be fun to hit the guards, I think. Or at least something for the player to hit. Okay. I don't know if it's my dev thing that causes to crash. So that's always a problem. You go, well, it's crashing, but is it just because I'm cheating it? Or is it because... I don't know, or is it something else? Let's go castle holder. Let's go back to the... Let's cheat our 2 towers again. We shall do all of these manually, because if it is the dev tool, then I'm basically chasing a red herring, and it's no point in putting time into fixing a dev tool that the players would never have the howl of. So it does pay to play the game through to test it as intended, because even in like a general software development, if you test individual parts and go, cool, each individual component works perfectly fine, no issues, but you don't test it in its entirety from start to finish, you don't know if something gets changed or conflicts with something else. And yes, it's annoying to have to go through the whole process to kind of prove it works, but if you don't, then you can't guarantee that someone who does it properly is going to have a bug-free experience. And it is long-winded. You do end up spending a bit of time repeating the same process. But then that's testing for you. And game testers get paid for that. It's just there. Hey bot, hey there, I can finally watch a stream again. It's been a hectic week. What's up? Glad to hear. Yeah, it's been one of those weeks, I think, for myself. Lots of things going on. Hope you can relax now. It's been a bit of a busy week for myself. So Wednesday was very busy. Trump cancelled my split album with Colt, and I'm angry. What did Trump do to cancel the album? Yeah, it's been a good week generally. Busy week, but good otherwise. Make war in Middle East. All band members are soldiers. Oh, gotta go now for months. Oh wow. Yeah, that sucks. Like, it sucks for them as well. Like, they kind of tied into the whole thing of having to go as well. And I hate that. It's like, oh, yes, they signed up to be soldier, but then some of these people don't particularly want to have to go at the end of the day. I'm going to release my parts of the EP then. Yeah, that's fair. War is so dumb, just messed up the livelihood of a lot of people. Oh yeah. It's messing up. Now, a lot of people's lives kind of sort of are either ended or ruined at the very least. Like even people that aren't directly in the war. Like sort of the whole of the UK is having an even worse cost of living crisis. Because they decided to start a war. Like why are we paying more money for things that we weren't involved in? Prices of things, yeah. Like cost of fuel goes up, which means the cost of everything else goes up because the cost of transport, cost of running. More people's lives are affected. And there's absolutely no benefit to any of it, really. But yeah, certainly work on your side of the EP. Get that out, because if you say it could be months, it might be one of these things you join back up and work on a combined project again at some point. My country's fuel reserves are set to dry up this month, so the price of food is about to skyrocket. Oh no, but sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's clearly not a consideration. Well, I don't think anything was a consideration when this started. It's that I just want to throw my weight around and have my way, and to hell with the consequence. And that's, yeah. It's playing games with a lot of people's lives. I'm hoping the 2-week ceasefire will help mediate it, yeah. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping they resolve it and stop being school children about it. There is no winners. Doesn't matter which side effectively wins, there is no winners. Because just the announcement of the ceasefire got oil prices below $100, but I'm not sure the current price. Yeah, I know it dipped. I think it's going back up again because Israel decided that they didn't apply to them. 1st of May will be Bandcamp Friday again, counting that AP as already finished, which was to be split, but not too bad. Not too bad. I'm going to do 4 releases total. Awesome. I would buy some more music. Hey Chad, how's it going, dude? Good to see you. Hello, just dropping by to say hi. Thank you, dude. I do appreciate seeing your face and your name in my chat. And even if it is just a lurk or say hello, I appreciate you doing so and spending some time. But I hope you're doing well, dude. Hope things are good, or as good as they can be. You've got different projects. You always got different projects in the go. So I'm sure you'll be happy to know I listened to the last 2 project releases that you gave me codes for. And they're very good. Doing good. Losing weight. Lost 67 pounds in 2 years. Still going. Nice. Well done, dude. Yeah, I'm struggling to lose weight. Over the past few years, I think I've gained easily gained nearly 100 pounds. So in the 2 years you've lost the 67 pounds, I've easily gained that in the 2 years. It's not good. I don't know. I can't kind of get over the seeking of stuff. I want to lose weight, but then someone offers me something that I realistically wouldn't go look for, and I can't say no to it. But I'll keep working out, keep going. What are you doing in Unity? What are you doing in Unity today? What are you doing in Unity today? We're still bug fixing. So I wanted to make sure there's no mechanical issues. But it'll work as if the player's going to use it. But I know there's other things to improve as well. Fang's got a pill instead of the shots. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've heard some bad things about the shots. It's kind of messing people up a little bit. So it's good you got a pill to help you. I know the healthy eating plan. I'm on a healthy eating plan, and if I follow the healthy eating plan, I lose weight. Brilliant, works. Plan is perfect. My mental fortitude in order to turn down things that aren't part of that eating plan is not it's not great. And it's obvious things like high calorie, sort of high calorie, high carb stuff. It's very easy things that you go, obviously eating that is not healthy for you. That's where I am. But I'm just struggling. I'm not sure it's a mental, just generally a mental thing. Like sort of, you know, sort of, it's kind of one of those things that people use things that will ultimately harm them because they're trying to cover other things. And I think that's kind of what happens to a lot of people with food and high calorie stuff. It's not, I am hungry, therefore I'm going to eat an entire cake. Because nobody's hungry enough to eat an entire cake. But there's a reason why somebody would eat an entire cake. I want to wish you luck on your weight loss journey. Thank you, boss. There's a lot of people out there go, well, just work out more. Just do more exercise. Stop eating all this stuff. Yeah, that's great. Doesn't always work. Put a proper English breakfast on my bucket list. Something tells it good. Yeah, full English. Full English can be very healthy. Like even with my eating plan. As long as you don't fry everything in anything too fatty. Like if you have a very, like even if you dry fry, if you have a nice non-stick frying pan, you can put everything into this non-stick frying pan and you can fry your eggs, your bacon, your sausage. As long as you have like a low-fat sausage and like low-fat bacon, and so as long as you don't have the bread, so you have to miss out on the toast and the fried bread from the full English. But you drop the bread, fry without oil, you can have a massive plate of food. And because it's all protein, most of an English breakfast is protein. It's good stuff. But yeah, it's just knowing the little things like not frying in like a sort of several ounces of oil. Just trade sweets for such sugar-free stuff and fruit. Yeah, eventually you find fruits. I found fruit is very enjoyable. Once I started eating better, fruit was like amazing. Like, never used to like fruit. I prefer to have like artificial stuff. But then I started eating healthier, and fruit tastes amazing now. Some things are easy said and done. Just do more exercise. Exactly. That's why a lot of people that criticize people that have weight issues, I never had weight issues. So it's like they don't understand that if it was as easy as just do more exercise, stop eating everything, there wouldn't be overweight people. It's just not like that. 3 different black metal ones, 1 grind, no digital, just one of the black has Lisa on bass and vocals. Ooh, nice, looking forward to that. All of us are on instrumentals. Nice. Saw a picture of English food with the caption, "Who lied that English food is good?" Because the sausage looked dry, the egg looked dry, bread looked dry. Yeah. I mean, every time you have those kind of images, they always find the worst example. They go, well, this is what all English people always eat, therefore it is bad. It's like the old, I know a lot of American stereotypes of English food in Britain is taken from the war, when those rations and there's barely anything to eat, and go, well, the American soldiers came over and go, oh, is this all the English have to eat? They just eat boring stuff with no flavour, because yeah, we couldn't get it. Sort of imports have been stopped. These days we have so much interesting stuff going on, but you can't beat a good old English breakfast. The simple stuff on the plate fills you up for the day. Might over exaggerate the truth. Oh yeah. Well, again, if I say you dry fry a full English on a non-stick pan, we don't need to test anymore. Dry fry some full English, it still can have enough of the fats and the oils that make it tasty. It doesn't have to be swimming in fat. I know some people don't consider stuff tasty unless you can actually see the grease and the fat dripping off something. And to be honest, after I've been eating healthy for so long, I can't even imagine eating anything that drips when you pick it up. That just, yeah, I just feel like my whole body's drowning in fats and oils, and it's not nice. It's the blood sausage I want to try it. It's not too bad. Like, I'm quite happy to eat a blood sausage, but it's not something I will purposely add to my plate. But it's a weird thing. Yeah, you're kind of frying up pig's blood with I can't remember what else is in it. Is it wheat and pig's blood to kind of bind together, and it's almost like a cake like texture with sort of a slight sort of I wouldn't say not necessarily meaty texture, but kind of like the bacon. It's the salty baconness with a slightly wheaty cakey texture. I have to have it. Yeah, certainly. It's one of those foods that some people go, ugh, absolutely hate it. I can't even imagine eating blood. How disgusting. But it is, if you pick up a blood sausage and kind of break it, it tears. It's kind of fibrous and tears and stuff. So it's, yeah, some people don't like the idea of fact it's made of pig's blood mixed with kind of wheats to bind it and stuff. But it's not bad. Certainly recommend giving it a go if you're into that. Craziest meat I've ever tried. Crazy. Oh, there was a meat I had when I was younger. I can't remember what it was like. What the actual meat was. It's one of those meats that you think, oh, that's got to be disgusting to eat. It wasn't actually that bad at all. I think the most interesting, surprising meat I've had was ostrich. I go to the Download Music Festival every year, and they have your regular burger stands and your hot dog stands and your pizza stands, all your typical fast food stuff. But they always have one stand, which is the ostrich burger stand, and the only thing they cook is this massive ostrich burgers, and sort of they're low fat, high protein, even compared to like beef, and they taste amazing. They cost a little bit more than a beef burger, but meat's here so full of stuff it's bad for you. Yeah, I feel for you, Chad, and sort of all my other friends in America, because yeah, there's not as the rules for what goes into food is not that strict compared to Europe. Like over here, if there's any studies are done and they find, yeah, that's really not healthy, they will not allow it to go into food. I think even the prime example is like McDonald's fries. In the UK, at the very least, it's something like 3 or 4 ingredients, like some potatoes, salt, oil, something else. And then you look at the same ingredients for McDonald's fries in America, and I think something like 10, 15 things come together, and you go, how do you even get 15 ingredients for just fries? It's crazy. Yeah, it's not good, and especially when healthcare is not as easily available. It's really not fair. I've had camel meat. Can't remember how it tastes though. It's been a long time. Nice camel meat. Very young. When I was young at school, they did like a little food test festival kind of thing, and they brought out different exotic foods for people to try. And as someone who loves food, I go, most of the kids are like, don't go touch that. That must be disgusting. I don't even like the sound of that. And I'm like, cool. I'm going to give it a go. It's food. And it was okay, but I can't remember what the meat was. Stopped eating fries. Better just to have another sandwich. Yeah. As long as the bread's okay. But I try to avoid bread. I love bread, but I try to avoid it where I can. But I make my own fries. Like, I make amazing fries. So I'm sure you're aware in the UK we have fish and chip shops. Very kind of stereotypical, or we refer to them as the chippy, because they sell chips as well as fish. But yeah, the chips, the fries, sort of big chunk. Basically, you can probably get about six to 8 chips off one potato. And so that huge chunky piece of potato in a fryer. And I can make the equivalent of that at home with barely any oil and still be tasting great. A dog walk, my neighbour. Be right back, okie dokie. Enjoy your dog walk. But yeah, I can make the equivalent of a chip shop style chip at home with barely any oil. Very healthy. Very nice and fluffy. I like fluffy. Yeah, I like to try those. Most of my bucket list is going places to try what the place is famous for. Yeah, I love, like, every time I've travelled anywhere, I've gone, well, what would the locals recommend here? And Cold Hikikomori, being from the Netherlands, has recommended so many things that the Dutch enjoy. Some of them I've tried already, but I've got so much more to try when I go back again. That's how you hate Frick Kandal. You asked me. Oh, yeah. And I got it, you. But be right back. Yes, be right back. See you shortly. Yeah, I met up with Colt last time I went over to the Netherlands. I love trying foods from all over the different places. Familiar with a Gatsby? I'm not sure if you've mentioned this before, but I know the name Gatsby. Don't think I've had one though. Been a cook for 25 years, so I want to try cook stuff as well. Oh, awesome! Yeah, I forgot about your being a cook chat. Yeah, I love cooking now. It's just working with flavors and sort of different textures to make something kind of that's an enjoyable experience. It's not, food isn't just there to keep you alive, it's there to be enjoyed. It's there to kind of give you an experience. Yeah, different cultures would then have different experiences. I remember when I went to Thailand, I said, well, what would Thai people eat? And this Thai chef recommended like sort of like this really hot spicy butterflied chicken. And so they say, well, it's too hot for English. So I don't think you're going to eat it. So no, I can eat hot stuff. So they brought out this butterfly chicken, all the beautiful spices on there, very hot. And yeah, it was a slight challenge to it, but I enjoyed it and I ate it. And the Thai chefs there were very impressed with myself and my friends that we actually finished it. But we all eat very hot stuff. South Africa, you get massive Gatsby's with loaded fries and lots of meat. Ooh. It's so big you can feed a family of 4 and still have leftovers. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like sort of. Yeah, I know lots of the spicier stuff from different African countries I quite like as well. I just enjoy different spices and flavors from all around the world. I've been fortunate to be able to try a couple of different barbecue meats from America when I went over. I think, was it in... Where were we? We've been to America 3 times? Yeah, 3 times. And so I went to a barbecue place twice. Can't remember exactly where, but yeah. No, so you have to have it. Yeah, the meats cooked beautifully, the flavors on it. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, loaded fries and lots of meat sounds amazing. Now, I'll try and take... I did take some photos at the Download Festival last year, but does it... the phone signal is that bad that I didn't get to upload anything while I was there, and I forgot when I came back. But there's so many different foods there. And that's a good kind of thing, because they have food stalls there that have different world foods. It's very much kind of English version, so to speak. It's not like traditional. It's been made to be in a food truck in an English festival, but at least it's close. I've heard the meat in America isn't organic. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the regulations compared to Europe is a little bit laxer. So no, we have certain meat standards. Like I know there's a big thing, like one of the political parties in the UK want to buy meat from America, but current regulations means we can't, and they want to kind of change regulations to allow us to buy meat from America. And most of the other political parties go, no, we don't want to change our food regulations to bring that over. Hey MH, hi Bug Junkie. Yeah, we are squashing bugs today. Speaking of the bugs. Yeah, I absolutely love food, and that's kind of a problem with managing your weight, is that I love food. I love the experience of food. I love tasting different foods, different textures. So when you gain that kind of much pleasure from experiencing the different foods, it's very hard to not eat so much of it in order to lose a bit of weight. Got to a boss in MIO's true ending. Very difficult. Ooh. I love it when games kind of add an additional ending to stuff. Is that, oh, you thought that was the end, did you? As long as they don't make you go through too many hoops, of course, and that's stretching a bit. My brother was watching me play and made fun of me for losing. Technically, now a food junkie. I'm always a food junkie, but that's my problem. Yeah, I've been talking about food a lot this stream already. Not been live for very long. It's can't sometimes. Yeah, I absolutely love food. I love cooking food, I love eating food, I like sharing food. One of the biggest pleasures I have is to spend time cook something that's really good and then share that with people. So every time we have friends gatherings, we kind of gather to play card games and stuff and have a bit of fun, have a few drinks. And I usually like to find a meal that I can cook and share with everybody. Past couple of times my friend is trying to get better at his cooking, so I've kind of said, well, if you need help, let me know. But I've kind of given him the space to go, well, I would like you to be able to enjoy and improve your cooking. And it's done very well. Started off simple stuff, but it's getting better. And people enjoy his food, which is great. Hey, sharing stuff with me with people, it's so nerve-wracking, yeah. Now, I always kind of get a little bit nervous, like somebody starts eating it and go, well, are they eating it to be nice? Are they eating it because they actually enjoy it? Are they just eating because they're hungry and they don't care what it tastes like? But I usually ask the question, well, is the food okay for people? I sometimes ask for a bit of feedback. Okay, have I balanced the seasoning right? Is there enough salt in there? Have I made it too overpowering? Like, say my friend who's learning cooking kind of over seasoned with garlic, which is hard to do, generally speaking, but you could smell the garlic from across the room. So there's a little bit too much garlic in there. But he's learning, and he knows, okay, that there is an upper limit to garlic. As much as I love garlic, there's so much in there. I think we had about several mile radius of vampire-free zone. As long as they don't slump over in their chair, then it's good. Yeah. As long as they don't turn a different colour. Most people go, it's food. I don't hate it. We're all good. Well, I like to cook stuff that people enjoy as much as I enjoy eating. Now, if I can get the flavors balanced right. That it's not just a meal to fill your tummy up. It is actually something that they enjoy. And yeah, I certainly enjoy making it. I am pretty happy with this process. I think my testing features are the what's broken and not the actual game. So I think we need to test the saving feature now. I like cooking, but I have no patience. Yeah, it's some meals take a bit of preparation, a bit of time. It's like, oh, so I really have to sort of prepare all these different things and spend so much time on this, and then waiting for it to cook. And some things need certain times to cook, and there's even some recipes which have like a 24-hour element to it, whereas you have to leave it to marinate, or sort of leave it to kind of soak if it's fresh things and stuff. And that's a lot of time for something that you could sit down and eat in about 10-15 minutes. So it feels like, is it worth doing? And sometimes it is. But then a lot of these long-term preparation meals were done in bulk to serve like a big family, and were done by people that would spend time to do just that, while other parts of the family were doing other things. It's the unfortunate thing these days that everybody has so many responsibilities that cooking kind of gets pushed aside because no one has the time to dedicate to cooking. So yeah, it kind of goes, well, I can't spend 2-3 hours preparing food for one meal because I have so many other things. It's a shame because generally food is a great experience in life. We just don't get as much time to stop and enjoy it. Whereas the whole kind of fast food industry comes in, I suppose. We need food now, we haven't got time to make it, we just want to be able to walk in, get it, and then carry on with our busy life. Such is life, yes. Let's go back to the main menu. Where's our scenes? Scenes, there we are. It was right there the whole time. Go back to level 1. Main menu, actually. So, hitting the continue button. It's all the way over there. If you still can spare some time to dedicate to doing things the long way, the proper way, taking your time to enjoy the experience, it ends up being worth it in the end. Level select. So what I need to do then, when you click the continue button, it needs to check if we have a file. Why is the main menu a 3D scene? So in Unity, if it's a 3D game, every part is 3D. The canvas exists as a 2D object in the 3D space. So this is the main menu as a 2D object, and it just kind of sits in its own scene. And when it actually loads, the camera's purely focused on just the flat bit like this. So again, being the objects, it just kind of operates like this. So all the... It's dumb, yeah. It'd be nice to have a separate type of thing. Like if I go to any of the levels, the canvas sits as this massive plane. So this plane is the right resolution. If I go to like level 1, for instance. So here's the UI. That's the level down there in the bottom left corner. The canvas is the UI space, which sits here, and you kind of put your whole UI on it. And it loads this when the level's loaded. Is that... yeah, it is. It's weird that you just don't have a space that you just kind of work on the UI rather than just having it as a floating object. Oh, that's the intro scene. I will eventually do the intro scene, purely for my own purposes. But yeah, so it's a 2D object in a 3D space. So we want the continue button to, what's this run? So this needs to check if there is a saved file, which is load level progress. I mean, it does make it very bloated engine, a bit lighter than having a full UI workspace. Yeah, I can see why they've done it. They kind of just tagged it into a process that already exists. But canvases in themselves are weird because it operates slightly differently from everything else. There's a whole set of objects that are UI objects. Everything under this canvas object here are all UI objects that are different from the 3D objects. And you try and put a 3D object on the canvas and it doesn't exist. Like, you try and put anything that isn't a UI object on the canvas, it won't load. So even empties, you want to make an empty to put something into, it has to be like a UI empty. It's one thing I would certainly say it could be improved, but they're following their current structure. So I understand why it's there. So yeah, we're running 2 bits of code. When we click on the continue button, it opens the level select menu and it loads the level progress. Now what needs to happen really is it needs to go to load the level progress, and part of that is check to see if there is progress. If there isn't, it's no point loading the continue into the level select because there's no levels available. But we'll look at this load level progress because I don't think this function's working. So game progress manager, load level progress. Let's have a look at that. Do we have this up here? Game progress manager. So this is where it is saving. So it's loads and saves a file called gameprogress.json, and where it saves it is application.persistent data path slash file name, which is that. And persistent data path on Windows is the app data folder. So it saves it per user on Windows. I don't know how it works on other operating systems, so I'll need to check that. So that kind of sets where the file is going to be. This could do with being reworked, I suppose. It's constantly looping around, going. Have we completed the level? Has the game not been saved? If so, save it. If the game hasn't been completed but is saved, mark it's not saved yet. You see a bug? Where's the bug? Well, not a real bug, just bad practice. Oh yeah, I can guarantee it's bad practice here. What you recommending then, bot? Always keen to learn. I say this entire section here I don't like. The file path you do by using a +/. So that rather than using the application dot, which works on Unix, not Windows, or am I wrong? I don't know actually. So this is what I'm not sure about. Windows file paths use that. Okay, yeah. I have managed to save it because if I go to it has saved the file before. Let's open up Windows files. Yeah, because it's / in. Cause yeah, Windows is / in the actual file directory. So I'm not sure how that would translate or not. But we will keep an eye on that. I'm not sure if C# translates this to be the correct format. Normally frameworks have a path module which can safely join stuff. Yeah, maybe Unity handles it when you save though. I might have gotten this off the internet, this particular line, or these. Yeah, I think because I didn't know how to find your application path, and looking on forums, apparently that's what it is. We will double check that. If it's / for Unix systems, then it's good we have that. And whether that assumes it's Unix and then will correct itself if not, I don't know. But that's something to. We'll make a note here. We'll do that. So we'll check the save path is correct. That was a note. Panda, how's it going, Cobbler? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week. That line of code should work on Unix because application persistent path should return the data storage path on any OS. Hello, hello. Yeah. I have managed to save a file before. I'm not sure if it's loading correctly now. So whether this was present when I was saving the file, I'm not sure. But we'll check that to be absolutely happy. And great, I hope you're doing awesome. Well, thank you, Gobbler. I'm doing well indeed. It's been a busy, hectic, but a good week. Did the demo have saving? It's supposed to have had saving. I don't think it was working for some reason. Prior to the demo, it did work at one point. So I don't know what I've done to break it. So that's what we're looking at now. See if we can get the saving working again. Because I did actually have it save and reload prior to making the demo. Yeah, it didn't work, yeah. So let's step through the process of so what was I completely forgotten what the function it calls now. What's new and changed in the game so far? Not a lot. Since I put the demo out the other week, which was a broken demo. We've just been fixing bugs for the past couple of streams. So load level progress. We're looking at load level progress. Yeah, so there's been a few little things. One of the bugs is it doesn't save and load correctly, or it saves but doesn't load. One of the things isn't happening. So let's have a look at the function. Load sounds, mark games, increments. Load level progress. So when you click continue, it runs this. So this does a check system.io.file.exists path. If it does exist, then it loads into a string the file path. So it reads all the text from the file into a string called JSON. It then passes the data in that string into the game progress object, which I found is pretty cool because you can create an object and have it save the object as a JSON and then load it into the same object from a JSON. So there's a game progress. Is it open at the moment? I don't think it's open. Yeah, so this game progress object is basically just a series of values and some functions, of course. But you can load into these public values from the JSON by passing the object and passing the JSON. Right, already on my last HP text with one eye open. Bedtime for me. Before I come by and say hi. Thank you, Cobbler. So I do appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you have a good rest and enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next time. Always good to see and say hello to people. I'll leave that open because we might have to look at that. Well, I can see that in the inspector. I don't need to have it open in the code. So this function here is what we're running. Thank you. Catch you on the next one. Tomorrow I'm working. Oh, okay. Hopefully work goes well. Godot has something called resources. You can make custom resources which can have any variables and able to save to a file with one line of code. Nice. Yeah, I suppose it's a very similar idea. So you've got a custom resource. So I suppose in some ways the game progress class kind of works like that resource. But I thought I had to like code something quite complex, but the fact you just load the JSON utility library and just overwrite the values in that from the JSON is like bonus. Like, as long as this works, of course. But yeah, I've considered actually sort of loading up Godot and just making something simple, just to get an understanding of different engines. And if I find sort of I can learn something, sort of methodologies and something that'll kind of help me progress with my understanding of game dev, and it's more knowledge. So I am thinking we need to put something here to say that we found the file. So let's go debug. There we go. Save file found, loading game progress. So we've got one down here. We've got a warning. Save file not found, starting with default game. But we've not had the warning. We'll save that and we'll try and load the game and see what happens. We can save your progress, then We're on to something at least. Video is so lightweight, in fact, you can use it on the web. Oh, that's cool. Entire engine's on the web. So you can actually just do dev on the go, effectively. Okay, so if we go to our console, the one that's running there, we need to clean it up because it's not even, the game's not even, well, there's no levels, so it's got nothing to save. So we go continue. So what happens when we go continue? So it says save file found, loading game progress. So that's good. Then retrieves, locked image retrieved. Game numbers 4. Unlocked image retrieved, game numbers 4. Okay, so that's 4, yeah. Locked image retrieved, level 3 locked. Is that one? Unlocked image retrieved, level 3. So it's basically just going through, loading all the images. And then it goes level complete but not saved, marking game as saved and updating level progress. So that shouldn't run at this point. So I have to check that. There's still loading images there. Okay. So this is getting called when it loads, which I'm assuming is because of the fact I'm looping. I want to move away from the looping thing. In fact, could I... so where is game is saved? Is this in this object? It is, isn't it? Game progress, game is saved. Be right back. Blender's a bit power hungry, freezing my computer because power browser is open to. Okie dokie bots. Hope it you can get it to behave. So that's there. So I wonder if we can make this an event. So saving the game should be an event and not a loop. I want to move away from the looping as much as possible. So game progress is game saved. So we've got game progress there. The game progress manager should determine that really. This game's saved. That's not really a progress really, is it? It should be... This game save should be handled by the process manager. So I think I need to change where that's kind of handled. I suppose even probably better is game values. Put it in the game values, to be honest. Game values. Because it is an on the spot kind of value, so we'll copy that over to where's game value? Oh, there it is, game values. So it should really be there. So let's manage that there. So how's this managed? So reset progress, so that sets that to there. We'll take that out of there. Save progress. Okay, so it's because it's managing it here. Oops. So save progress, load progress. Is this actually... Are these used? We'll find out. We'll comment these out. There's nothing in code that's using them. So I don't think that value needs to be handled here. So you've got things like this, get save string, load save string. That's been moved to the progress manager. So they don't need to be there either. So we've got get unlocked levels, so that just returns the unlocked levels. We've got reset progress, which will basically zero out these values. Best time, that pulls the best time. Medal, volume. So these things are just easier access to those values. That's all good. Let's give that a rebuild, make sure there's no errors. Okay, so that means we don't want to worry about it here. Actually, what we could do, just to guarantee we've not got any issues, we'll comment this out and see what it doesn't like. Reboot all fails. I know it's going to fail. There we go. So rather than game progress, it should be put into the game values. Okay, so that succeeded. So it removed where the is game saved value. So that is now in game values. Now the beauty of that now is this bit of code here is basically looking at game values level complete and game values is game saved. So it's looking at two things that exist inside game values now. And that means we don't have to do these checks here anymore. So we go to level complete. So level complete is basically if we hit more squares than we had, or equal to more or equal to what squares we had to hit. And then if the game is not saved. So mark game as saved is only setting that value. Update level progress. So where's this? I sell emotes. Hey Lisa, how's it going? Sell the best emotes. There they are. Grace my stream with all those cool emotes. Add hints used. This in itself might need a little bit of reworking. I know it's got several different elements, so this could take a little bit of effort. So we'll leave that as it is right now. But oh, it's only just above it there. So marking the game saved, marking the game not saved. That is all that is doing is setting true or false. So that can happen as part of this. So on the level complete. So level complete happens when we're updating the hit squares. So here we go. So if level complete, then we're doing stuff. We're invoking this. Disney Plus just forced us to use a keyboard that doesn't use QWERTY. It angers me. Oh wow. Why is that? Is it sort of asking for you to input stuff? Or is it, have they done that? I can't remember what the on-screen keyboard's like for Disney Plus. You should at the very least look at your language and go, okay, what's the common keyboard setup for your language settings? And if it's I know QWERTY is fairly standardized, but I know there's at least is it XERTY? There's another standard. And what was the other one? I can't remember the other European standard. Because even the American keyboard is QWERTY, but with keys in the wrong place. Namely the @ symbol. The @ symbol in the double quote. For some reason they're the wrong way, wrong place. Going FK watching Malcolm in the Middle. Ooh. Life is still unfair. New Malcolm in the Middle. Cool. Awesome. So if level is complete, we want to do something here. Level is complete. And it needs to check this game not saved. Level complete, but game is marked as saved. Marking game is not saved. I'm not sure that's what the correct thing is. So it should be not. Once this game saved. True. Level is complete, but game is marked as not saved. Marking game as saved. And update level progress. So it needs to still run this. when it's no longer level complete, it needs to mark it as not saved. That's got all the things there. So the marking is saved there. And I'm back. Welcome back, bot. So what would update? It's basically these two values here. Whatever will set these values back to so squares hit. What do we have that uses squares hit? So reset game values. That sets it 0. Actually, I can make all of that point out because we're not using those listeners anymore. Squares hit. So that's pulling from squares hit. That's adding to squares hit. That's setting it to 0 there. That's comparing it. And that's comparing it, well, that's calculating it. So, is it only here that we're setting it back to 0 then? So in game values, which is we are reset game values. So on enable, it resets the game values. Any squash bugs? I've not done any testing since, but I have moved some values around which I think will help. So reset game values. Reset game values will then make this false. So on reset game values, we need to check whether this is true, and then mark it as false. We're basically just stopping a bit of spaghetti still. Still a little bit of spaghetti going on. So if we're resetting the game values, we then need to set that as well, set it as false anyway because it's not. I think regardless, we just need to set that as false. I don't think we even need to check it. Because if we're resetting the values, it's not saved. So I think that basically means that check is covered, that is covered, that check is covered, that is covered. So that entire section there no longer applies. What we do need to actually work out, however, is running this function when we get to this stage, when we get it to a listener. Game Progress Manager. suppose I could grab this object and then run it. I don't like the way that feels though. This is constantly looping just to check whether we've finished the level. If we finish the level, then we want to save the progress. And that should be an event and not a constant check. So what we're actually doing here, so when we go to update the progress, we get the current level number. We get the index by taking 1 off the level number, because indexes always start at 0. If the current level number is less than or equal to 0, or the current level number is greater than the amount of medals there are, so i.e. there's a problem with my setup, then just don't bother trying to update the progress, something's gone wrong. But if there isn't a problem, then we take the index, we then find out what the reward times are, the award times for that particular level, and save that into that object. Then we get the index for the medal that will be awarded for that level based on our times, and we record that along with the level index. So we have the medal that's been awarded for the level and the actual level itself, and we record that into the game progress. We then get the time in seconds. We then record that with the level. Then we get how many hints we've used so far. Then we add that as hints used. So I guess added to the running total, because it will tally how many hints you've used in the whole game rather than per level. Whether it's worth recording per level how many hints you've used, I don't know. I don't know what people would want to see in their stats, whether overall for the game completion they've used 10 hints, or whether they just don't care how many hints they've used, or whether they want to see on level 2 I used 2 hints. And a hint is basically when you hit the hint button and for it to tell you what squares you've not hit. So I suppose I could do things like bonuses for completing a level with no hints. Total hints would be an interesting stat in the settings menu or something. Yeah. I don't know what you would do with it, but I personally would like to know, okay, I've used a lot of hints. Doesn't detract from the game, doesn't stop you from doing anything. Well, that's what I'll put that in there anyway. And then this line here will then reset the hint counter in this particular data. Yeah, so for the current holding data, it'll reset it back to 0. So when the next level loads, it starts at 0, and then that will be added to the total if you start using hints. Brag on your friends, I use 10 hints, beat all the levels. Yeah. It's bragging rights, I suppose. If you start a brand new save file, you can then do it again if you want to reduce your amount of hints. Save level progress. Ah, this is why it's not saving. I actually commented that out. Okay, so that might have been less of a bug. I know I did comment this out to the test things to make sure the saving wasn't crashing anything. And we fixed the crashes, and I just didn't re-enable the saving feature. Okay, but we still need to trigger this. Cool stat I learned about my listening is that I listened to 4,479 minutes of music last month. Ooh. Yeah, I don't always really like these little stats. It's just always interesting. Go, that's an interesting number. I know it's sort of like streaming platforms will go, here's this interesting stat on your habits. Of course, that information helps them as well because they know kind of what your habits are. Listen to 357 minutes more than the average person in my country of Eminem. Nice, I like Eminem. Used to listen to a lot of Eminem when I was in college. What's going on with my laptop? Yeah, I'm going to do it the dirty way first, and we find a better way later. So the dirty way of doing it would be going to game values, going up to here, so we want to get the game object. So game progress manager, let's make sure that's all saved. Game progress manager. We're still running the game, aren't we? We want to hit stop. Game progress manager is that object there. It's got a tag of game progress manager. So if I grab this object, I can then run anything in it. It's less than ideal because it's almost a circular kind of reference in some ways, because it's being run by something that it's pulling in, but yeah, we'll do it this way. If I find a better way later. Dirty way is far better than clean way of finding the best solution or planning out everything, since you're actually hands-on and see what works and what doesn't instead of guesstimating. True, yeah. We'll do it the dirty way. A lot of this has been done the dirty way, and I've kind of found out the cleaner way later. game progress. Let's type it. Game progress manager. Yeah, the key thing is if you have the there shouldn't be any more of one of those, so we'll not make that an array. Yeah, the key thing really is having the time to go back and trying to do it the clean way. And it's not always possible. Probably shouldn't have called it that. Let's call it GP manager, because game progress manager is actually a thing. Find game object with tag. So I should find the first one as tag game progress manager. Cool. And because we've only got the one of them, should be able to go on complete. There we go. Copilot knows exactly what I was after. So we'll add a listener for GP manager, get component, game progress manager, dot update level progress. So that should then call that function here. So I don't need this running either now. So there is actually nothing on the loop. So mark not saved. Probably don't even need that, to be honest. Mark not saved. It's quite nice when you can start commenting stuff out and go, actually, that is a redundant function. The feedback, things like this, has provided feedback, mark feedback. There's something else suggested. But I don't know whether I'll put something in the game that tracks whether feedback has been put or whether there's a bonus for giving me feedback. So mark game not saved. So all that's doing is marking that false, but so where's that called? That's on enable, it calls that. So on enable, it's basically doing the same as that anyway, so we don't actually need that in there. It's setting it false and setting it false again. And because of that, we don't actually need that function anymore either. Alright, let's just do a quick code check. Yep, build's fine. Let that recompile into Unity. What we're doing for time? We've got a little bit of time. A bit of time still. Save the project in case it all goes downhill quickly. Let's cheat it a little bit. Castle. Castle. This might crash it. Yeah. Doesn't like me cheating. Okay. So my dev tool cheat crashes it. This is all fine. I might try and fix it. Let's reload Unity again. We'll do it properly. What it should do really is cover all but one all but one of the squares and let me hit the last square. What we will do to make life easier, we will cheat slightly. We can cheat one of them, just not the other one. Did you see the demo video I had of throwing around random coloured boxes? Oh, I don't think I did. Did you post that on my Discord? I did see something pop up. I don't think I actually watched it. This brings me insane joy. Don't think I actually clicked on that one. Let's play that on the other screen. We're playing now. Oh, there we go. Nice, just kind of playing around in the boxes. That's cool. Nice, that's awesome. Quite late when I made that, so the fact it worked made me so happy. Yeah, it's a nice fun little kind of a toy mechanic, especially at that time of night. You go, this is just a silly little thing, but it works. It's enjoyable. What kind of thing are you looking to put that mechanic into? Is it like a physics-based game, or one where you pick objects up? Oh, it's crashed again. Okay, so this is where I'm going to have to disable the saving feature and see if it now works again. Saving's not happy. Editor. Stop the editor. Replay it. Well, since I'm finally done with my week stuff, I worked a bunch on today. I made those boxes items which you can combine to make new items. Like a Rick and Morty game. Oh, nice. That's cool. Now I'm going to comment out this again. And if it works without it, we know this is causing us some issues. It works, currently working the quest system. Okay. Yeah, I need to work on a quest system for the Moongate Mage project. That'll be interesting to play with. on the quest system. Hustle. So everyone's so happy with the bugs in this. I'll push out another demo, and I'll start working on some prototyping for the next game. That will include things like quest systems, combat systems. That's gonna be fun to explore. Oh, okay. It's failing. It's definitely not the saving feature that's failing on. It's failing on something else. Okay, I might have to go back to just disabling a lot of the features. That's annoying. I've been so scared to attempt a physics-based item system, and a quest system seemed so difficult. Turned out to be easier so far. Nice. I need to sort this input system thing as well here. But that's easy enough. I know the code. I know where to find the code. Change that. I just need to change it. Yeah, especially until you actually try these things, you don't know how hard they're going to be. But it's nice just playing with the engine and go, okay, what can I get out of this? I am going to just comment a few of these things out. Imagine making a golden apple, giving it in and getting a battery pack for that. Okay. Yeah, make for an interesting kind of questing. I'm going to comment out all of these. Start mode, disable colliders. Start smoke. Just a test quest I'm doing right now to see if the system even works. It's quite, but it's quite a deal. Having an entire gold bar mixed with an apple or simple AA battery. Yeah. Yeah, so it must be a very good battery though. But if it works, the test works, you know it works, doesn't matter what the items are. Don't think this loop is avoidable. There might be some way to rework that, but that's minimal. Play next level. So none of that's an issue. Okay. We'll remove that now. Been a little while since we've had to use that. And that. Basically checks, is the castle collapsing? If so, loop around. So it's not even running this bit. If I comment this line out, it shouldn't actually move the castle. Actually, uncomment it. Let's take the whole thing. So basically, castle won't collapse. The colliders won't be disabled, the smoke won't start, the sound effect won't play, the level won't update. So actually it does. So basically nothing will happen, it'll just kind of time out and then show the UI to play the next level. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. Give me warnings because I've got variables I'm not using, but I will use them. I just commented it out for now. Give it a quick test and then we'll wrap up the stream shortly. Been streaming for nearly a couple of hours. But this is all good learning. All good learning to find out what's going on. So continue. Level 1. Castle holder, castle. Doesn't even feel like a couple of hours, to be honest. Yeah, it goes by so quickly. I would stream earlier and a lot longer, but after kind of looking at a screen for so long, I kind of just want to get up and do other things. Which isn't great. I don't want to have to take breaks in the middle of the stream. But if I had an entire day, I might do like several hours with breaks in. Then that's my job at work. I spend most of the day sat in front of the computer trying to work out why a piece of code doesn't work. So it's like, do I really want to do that in my free time? But I still want to learn how to make games and have fun and talk to people. So it's a nice compromise. Yeah, I understand that. I currently have a headache. Yeah. Sorry about your headache. Headache's not fun. I'm staring at the screen. Yeah. Like, for health and safety reasons, for work environments, you have to kind of like stop staring at the screen every so often. Still AFK. Show is pretty good though. Still selling emotes. Please send credit card information to see if you've won a free emote. I love that. Lisa's still trying to scam us for soup money. Yes. You might have noticed something there. The word soup now does things in my stream. Soup. Of course I want soup. Nice. In fact, this is a spicy soup. Oh my god, soup. Just notice. Lisa might that interest you in rehab. Soup. There's people that have never seen my stream before turn up and go, why is everyone shouting about soup? Rehab is for quitters. Okay, so it didn't crash. We're making progress here. So square's been hit, level complete, invoking on level events. Level complete, but game is marked as not saved. Marking game has saved. On event hit invoked. So that's the weird thing. Why is the on hit event being invoked after it's considered the game's complete? So these timings here are kind of confusing. Pretty sure these bowls are too small for Lisa, since Lisa used to massive pools of soup in caves. Yeah, big soups. There's soup command now. Yes, they're like soup caves. So much soup. Now, if I could program it, I'd probably have the stream filling up with soup. Nude command. You want emotes of Jeffrey's nudes as a command. I'll provide them anyway. Back to watching Malcolm video. Okie dokie. What a command, yeah. Most would be of that one friend. Yes, that one. Oh. Yeah, you don't want nude emotes of that friend. I think the internet has been graced with that far too many times already. Yeah. I am slightly concerned on the timings of these events here. Although, maybe not too concerned. So square's been hit. The next thing that should say is on hit event invoked. So that is continuing. It's just this has jumped in immediately and gone, that was the last square. Level is now complete. Invoking the level complete event. But the on hit event comes afterwards. I wonder if this is what causes issues, maybe. It's the order of these events firing. The on hit event evoked. Let's have a quick look at that. So set hit. So that's where it says castle hits false. Set as true. Get the mesh renderer. So we kind of want this to complete before it actually determines the game's completed. well, the level's completed. Timing's always a big problem in my games, yeah. Like, that's why I wanted to move a lot of things to events, because you can control the order of events. But then if events are asynchronous, then you can't, unless you, what's the word? Unless you wait on the event, then you can't guarantee that events will fire one after the other if they're called at the same time. So the set hit is called from the hit grid and hit grid square. Async events are a nightmare. Yeah, obviously they're great for not holding stuff in queues, but then when things are reliant on certain things, asynchronous becomes problematic quickly. Yeah, I've never, this is the first time I've tried to do asynchronous stuff in the game engine. All my stuff that I do for work is very much synchronous. It's like this event, then this event, and this triggers this event, and then this, and then you show the user this, and then you move on to here. So on wait, that's the one, isn't it? On wait event. Was it promise? It's a promise, isn't it? You can have a promise on an asynchronous event, and it kind of waits for a result from the asynchronous event to then continue on. Asynchronous development is quite tricky, but pays off if you understand in the right cases. Yeah, like certainly in video games, like you want so many things to be happening and not have to wait for it all to finish. That's the on-hit evoke. Like, is this going to cause an issue? Like, I'd like it to be fire in the right order, but is it going to cause an issue? Because all this is doing at this point here is changing the material to say it's now cracked, it's been hit. But the on-hit evoke, what is this doing? So this is adding the square. So the actual evoking of the event is what should trigger it, which is confusing. Like it should. Ah, okay. Right. Yeah, that makes. Actually, there's not an issue here because it says the square's been hit. It invokes it, and then it says it's been invoked. This event being invoked is what invokes the other event, which is then says that event has been invoked. This then tells me that it was invoked. So that is not a problem. This is the right order compared to what I've coded. So that's not a problem. In some languages it's called await, sometimes it's called promise, but only place where I've seen it promises JS. It might be where I'm thinking them in JS. I think it is await. Invoke chunky. Yes. Must invoke it all. Yeah, so this is the correct event. So it says this has happened, it invokes it, which then in turn invokes this, which does that, and then it tells me that it invoked the thing that invoked those. So that's fine. So medal rewards. So I think this is potentially where an issue occurs. It's the on complete event, which is what I've kind of commented out. The rest of it then runs. So we'll play again, can't do anything because we've not set the values. The fact that you said invoke so many times is crazy. Much invoke. Many invoke. Such well. So I'm happy with the way that does its thing. Okay, I can probably uncomment some of these now and see if this works. One invoke, two invokes, plural forms, yes. Many invokes. There is much invoking. Let's save that. Just going to do a quick test on these events. So we've uncommented out the disable collider, so we won't visually see. Yes, I know those values are not being used. It's fine. But we re-enabled the collider. When people ask me why is my grammar broken, I just say I program in a truthy falsy language. Yeah, grammar when applied to syntax in languages kind of just goes out the window. Because I just wrote if not body or body, then if not body or body is not item. Nah. Yeah, so if not body or body is not item, which makes perfect sense in coding. Pretty sure English teachers won't accept that in an explanation. Yeah. It is not body. I think it's in Visual Basic is a if is not null. Which is great grammar, of course. Okay, that did not crash. We're all happy with that. Let's bring in the smoke. I'm going to bring these two together. But I don't think these are the issue. That's an interesting way to check if something is true. Yeah. So some languages here just go, does this have a value? But then Visual Basic is this a null or is it not a null? Is not nothing. Yeah, grammar in coding syntax is kind of the weird one. But it's logic, really, isn't it? It's logic grammar rather than English grammar. Okay. So that seems quite happy there. Just stop that and let's add this in. So that will then run all these bits. Now, if it's a case that it is in fact the moving of the building which causes the problem, I think I have to rethink what's happening there. Okay, moment of truth. Okay, so none of the code is crashing it. The only thing that's not active and that I've commented out is the code that shakes the building. Go back to main menu, go continue. Yeah, so that's still not loading there, but that's... Is it not saving? I don't think I'm actually saving it. Let's go back to game progress. Game progress. Progress manager. There we go. Uncomment this out. At least we can test the saving. Might have to rewrite how the building shakes if it's causing the issues. So there shouldn't... I suppose there is. There's a collider. There's a collider on the building. I wonder if that's causing issues. Right. Okay, let's see if this will then save. That should have saved the fact I've now got a gold medal. If I go back to main menu, go continue, it's not loaded there. But I should be able to open up game progress and we've got a gold medal up here. So the saving feature, well, it's updating this whether it saves it or not. If I hit stop, set that to 0. Set that to 0. That's 0.5. Go save. Yeah, so that now goes to free. So it's loading, it's saving, it's loading. That's fine. Well, it's loading the values. What it's not doing is applying the values to this level select screen. To say, if you've unlocked level 2, allow you to play level 2. So that's something itself. So I need to experiment with the shaking of the castle. But we are running late a little bit. So switch over to the full camera, and I'll look at this another time. But we've made some progress. We know we can save, we know we can load. We just need to apply the saving and the loading. Epic! Thank you for the stream. It was epic as always. Thank you, Lisa, for being here. I hope you've enjoyed your Malcolm in the Middle. And thank you for liking. Goodbye. Goodbye, Jeffrey. Good to see you as always. Have a great weekend. Good night. Good night indeed. Enjoyed the stream. Looking forward to next time. Oh, thank you, bots. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that stopped by and said hello. Or even if you just lurked. I see some nice lurkers in there. You're all awesome. Good night. Have a great weekend. You too. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your soup. Oh, doesn't like the exclamation mark. It should allow the soup. Yeah, I hope everyone has enjoy the rest of your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and I shall see you on Monday. Yeah, super. I don't know how I get around the bot when it reposts from YouTube to Twitch. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a good weekend. We're back on Monday with Trine 4 to finish that off. See how far we can get into Trine 4. Certainly getting harder, more enjoyable. But we'll see you then. So have a good night. See you Monday. Night all.